Homelessness in the UK is a growing problem, and the Conservative solution is moronic, to put it politely. But just to show the disconnect that Tories have with the actual homeless crisis we're facing in Britain, I have two examples. First off, a Tory mayor in the West Midlands, Andy Street. Evolve Politics reported that he paid £530 to be chauffeured to a meeting about homelessness. The actual meeting itself was in Helsinki, and he ended up claiming, so this is taxpayer money, we've paid for this. He ended up paying a total of £2,216.88. That's just for one day, one trip to attend a homeless event, Housing First in Helsinki. Wow. Okay. If you're the kind of moron who spends that amount of money going to an event rather than actually dealing with the problem, you shouldn't be mayor. And yet, this guy is showing once again how clueless the Tories are, and quite frankly, how incompetent they are with money. It's amazing that any of them actually have any wealth, considering how frivolously they spend it. But that's just one of the stories. The other one, reported by The Guardian, and I'll leave links to both sites down below. The homeless minister, Heather Wheeler, she came out with something pretty outstanding. She says she just doesn't know why rough sleeper numbers have gone up. But she doesn't think that it has anything to do with benefit sanctions or anything like that. And she's confident that she won't have to fulfill her promise of stepping down if she can't. Let's see, her exact promise was, or her commitment was, halving rough sleeping numbers by 2022 and completely eradicating it by 2027. Okay. Since the Conservatives took over in 2010, homelessness has risen over 100%. I believe it's 169% was the last time I checked, and that was a couple of months ago. So I am all for practically anything that lowers the number of homeless people around the country. In fact, I run a campaign charity that donates to homeless charities. You can go to Facebook and search for Tory. It will take you to a Teespring link. I don't keep any of the money. It goes to Porchlight. The Conservatives are actually in a place where they could do more in 1 month than I could hope to do in an entire year. Heather Wheeler coming out saying that benefit sanctions have nothing to do with homelessness shows either how dishonest she is or how out of touch with reality is. Now, if you're 10 minutes late for something, which can happen at any given day, and there could be 100 different reasons for it. Maybe there was traffic, maybe you couldn't get your car to start, maybe you had to sort something out with the kids, maybe X, Y, and Z, fill in the blank. 10 minutes doesn't make a lot of difference. But 10 minutes late to the job centre means you could and will, in all likelihood, face sanctions. Universal credits means if you get sanctions, your rent doesn't get paid. And there are a plethora of shitty landlords out there who, if you do not pay rent, they will evict you. And there are a ton of good landlords out there who, if you don't pay rent, they will have to evict you, because once you're in that endless cycle, that downward spiral of being late for payments for rent and constant sanctions from the job centre, it's only going to lead to one place, and that is homelessness. Now, to her credit, she has mentioned something about people coming out of prison and them not having the proper support, which, yes, that does contribute to it as well. So I want to be fair and say it's not like she's completely ignorant to every single thing, but the universal credit system, benefit sanctions, housing, money for housing, all of these things are massive parts of it. And when you start to ignore a singular reason, and that is your entire job. She is a homeless minister. It is her job to fix this. And when you stand there and say, I just don't know why, you're in the wrong job. Stand down, go away, let someone else take over. And I can pretty much say that exact same line with more or less any Tory right now. Whether they're spending over £2,000 on a meeting about homelessness, whether they are oblivious to why homelessness has risen, whether it's Esther McVeigh constantly defending universal credits when study after study, case after case show that they are not effective. The sanctions are not effective. Universal credits are horrible. It is an abhorrent system that you can compare to the bad old days of Victorian England with the workhouses. And yet, Conservatives and Tory politicians protect these repulsive policies time after time. Quite frankly, it's just not good enough. And if this is the attitude, Heather Wheeler, step down and let someone who actually knows why homelessness has risen take over.